B&N Outdoor Productions is brought to you by Matthews, Scent Lock, Game Hide, Dead Downwind, Wild Game Innovations, New Archery Products, Hunter Safety System, Dix, TrueFire, and HHA.
It is November 2nd. We're out here in a ground and pound mission, sitting up against a tree here. We didn't really want to put a stand in here last minute, so I saw a good 150-inch 8-pointer down in this ditch down here. So we're gonna sit here. I got my brother about 100 yards to my left, hoping that if he comes out to make this scrape, one of us is gonna get a shot. It's perfect conditions today. Hopefully he'll come out and make a mistake. Stay tuned. Sequence, and he came off this hill behind me at about 150 yards. I'm up against this tree and I had him about 45. I think he buzzed me here. He whistled a soft whistle a couple times and went up over the hill. I don't think that was a shooter. That's not the one I was after, but I don't think I have any pictures of that deer. But he had I couldn't get my camera on this tree from when I saw him, but he had his had his nose to the ground. And he ran all that crossed over here, so maybe there's a doe around here, but I'll have to watch the footage over again. I was at full draw when he was at top of this hill here. I don't think I had that on video, but he was maybe just outside the ears. I'm not that disappointed because it wasn't the biggest one I wanted to shoot, but well, I thought that was gonna pan out there. That buck was coming right into him. He was snort wheezing and everything, and he was all interested. He circled all the way around to get downwind of him, but just got spooked for some reason. Well, obviously he saw him on the ground, but man, that almost panned out. Did not think it would work that well. Awesome encounter.
Scent prevention doesn't start in the woods. It starts from square one and doesn't stop until your goal is reached. It's not an afterthought. It's a complete scent control system. For every season, for every species. until your target is found. Dead Downwind.
You see the size of that buck? That's when I seen. I was sitting like 100 yards behind me. Saturday evening, he came out at the exact same time. I just was calling Ben. He was on that side of this ditch. Just tell him what that buck did up by me. And I saw that buck we're after coming down the hill road here. Ben had him at 55 yards. He was on edge the whole time, I think partly because that buck by me whistled. He must have been on his way down right when that happened, but I thought we would have been close enough to get him tonight, 55 yards. He probably could have shot, but maybe it wasn't in the opening. That's definitely the one we're after. It's got to be at least a 150. It's a beautiful buck. We got 2 weeks till gun season. Hopefully we can get him before then. It's a beautiful Wisconsin buck. We're gonna hit this part of the land hard, I think. We know that buck's in here. I've seen him twice in the last 3 days. We gotta get closer. That's the buck we came in here for. He was at 55, 60 yards the whole time, never came in closer. I would have just let it fly, but I'm not gonna risk wounding it if we get another chance at it later. We knew he'd be in that grass field right there, but we didn't know if he'd come in closer or not. I might regret not taking that shot, but I just think 55 is too much of a risk with the bow, compound bow, crossbow. Maybe you could do it, but with the compound, that's just borderline there. Dang it. Just about out of shooting light. Probably about 15 minutes. I'm gonna do my. I'm gonna start shutting everything down right now so I can get out of here nice and silent. I think Ben and I are gonna sit in this ditch just about every single day now. We're definitely gonna be hunting this deer with him being that big. We haven't been really seeing a lot on the ridge. That's definitely the biggest buck I know of that's around here. So we gotta get closer. I was 100 yards back. I came 100 yards forward and brought Ben with me, and we split up on each side, so in case he came any direction, we'd have it cut off, but he stayed in the bottom and didn't come any closer, so maybe we'll get a stand up down here, or 2 stands, and I think if we had a decoy, he might come in. There's another deer on that hillside that behind that 8-pointer. Ben said he thought he was bigger than this one, but I couldn't get him on camera, and I just saw him with my bare eyes. I was trying to keep the camera on that 8. So I don't think we're gonna sit the mornings and stuff yet. I've seen that deer anywhere from 4 to 4:30 twice, and twice in the last 3 days. So we're gonna keep after him, and hopefully we can get a shot at him. Ben did have him broadside 55 yards and a perfect shot, but with a buck that big, he hasn't shot a lot of arrows at 55, and he didn't want to risk wounding it or missing it and screwing it up for a while, so we gotta get closer so we can make that shot under 40 yards and get it on film. It's a beautiful buck. Hopefully we can get him before the Orange Army comes in and starts spraying away. Alright, that's it for tonight. We'll be out back tomorrow and probably about every single day now. These big bucks are definitely on their feet. You gotta be in the woods right now. Stay tuned.
I am not your forefather's broadhead. I am 4 ultra-sharp blades of blistering precision. I am 3 devastating inches of cutting trauma. I am a 100-grain testament to American ingenuity. I am a bulletproof storm of unleashed fury. I am the SpitFire Double Cross, and failure is not an option. NAP. Hunt with confidence.
Hey guys, it's November 5th. It doesn't look like November 5th or feel like it right now. It's actually 70 degrees right now. I'm sitting near a pond. There's a big pond behind me here. Maybe I'll catch some deer going, crossing through to get to that pond. But it should have been done yesterday. My season should have been over. As you can tell in the video that just got done, there was a big tell 8-pointer that we've been going after the last week. The first night we went out there, he was at about 150 yards. The next day we moved our stands to about 60 yards he came out at. And then we decided the day after that we were going to try to get even closer, to try to get to that 30-yard shot or below so we could put him on the ground. And we took the whole afternoon and the whole morning to get those stands there to get ready to see if he'd show. And I got up in a climber. I found a tree and got up in a climber and got myself about 15 feet in the air. And then we did not see a single deer until about 4:30. We heard a bunch of grunting up on the hill behind us. So I started grunting back, seeing if it'd draw him in. And all of a sudden, here comes this doe trotting through. And what do you know, behind him was that tall 8-pointer. That's probably the biggest buck that I've seen in shooting range. And when I went to aim, I aimed for a double lung at 30 yards. And there's going to be a lot of what ifs of what if I did this, what if I did that, what if I waited for him to not be so alert, what if I let him walk if he was so alert to shoot him another time. But I had him at 30 yards and I put the pin right on the double lungs, and we'll show you a video here. We put a red dot where I aimed and he actually ducked a good 10 inches and the arrow was only 3 feet in front of him. It's only 3 feet to impact and he ducked a full 10 inches and hit him high. At first I thought I might have got lucky and maybe got that main artery up there, or maybe I even clipped the top of the lungs, but I don't know. We went the next day and looking for blood or something and never found any blood or arrow or deer, so we're hoping he's hanging around, but that is probably the biggest buck that I've had in shooting range. I've watched hundreds of videos where people would aim lower to kind of predict that duck of the deer when it hears the string ear bow, but in almost all of those videos, the deer did not even budge and they shot under them. And I always told myself I am not going to do that. But sure enough, I didn't do it, and what did he do? He ducked and screwed my whole shot up. It was going right where I aimed until he ducked. But maybe next time I aim just a touch lower, where if he didn't duck, it'd still be lethal, but it's just hard to predict sometimes. Deer are really smart. A lot of people think deer is stupid, but they're actually really smart and really tough. That shot there, it had the arrow sticking out of him, and it was running with the arrow still in him. And I guarantee he probably just reached his mouth behind and snapped the arrow right off and spit it out and kept on running. And I bet you that broadhead is still up there near its spine, just in his body, and it'll heal perfectly fine. But the person that shoots him will find when they're cutting him out and cutting him up that there'll be a broadhead and part of an arrow up there. Sucks that happened, but you know, nothing's guaranteed in the woods, and you never know how deer are gonna act. You kind of just have to learn from the mistakes, and hopefully you can correct them next time. So that's what I'm out here today to do. I'm on another piece that I hunt, and hopefully there's a nice 8-9-pointer out here that's been trotting through here and there. But the rut's starting to pick up, and hopefully I can draw him in tonight, and hopefully I can put the shot on him where it counts. and hopefully he does not duck this time, but who knows? I have not seen a buck in 3 weeks until that buck I saw the other night when I shot at him. So I hoped I did get him, or I wish I did get him, but you know, things happen and you can't predict it, so see what happens here in the rest of the season.
Thank you for checking out this video. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Check the description for our apparel.